4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, this is a meeting of the Templeton Conservation Commission, Monday, May 19th, 2025 at 6:30 PM Eastern Day time. We're at Town Hall, 160 Partridgeville Road, East Templeton, 01438 in the conference room. Okay, number one, we are going to review the meeting minutes from 4/14/25. Everybody give a chance.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Very good. George, you want to pass those down?
Okay. Okay,
Number 2.
number 2, an IDA for 68 Rainbow Drive, a Templeton Fishing Gun Club, filling in a eroded area with loam and seed and creating a gravel driveway within the buffer zone of the wetland known as Partridgeville Pond. The request is a determination whether the activity depicted in the plans is subject to the Wetlands Protecting Act and regulations.
I will read the legal notice. 68 Rainbow Drive, request for determination of applicability. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a request for determination of applicability filed by Philip Perron of Hebron, Connecticut. Project location is Lot 68 Rainbow Drive at the Templeton Fishing Game Club, Templeton, Mass. Map 4-11, parcel TF&G.68. Description of the project is filling an eroded area next to the lodging with loam and seed and creating a gravel driveway on the other side of the lodging, both locations within the buffer zone of a wetland known as Partridgeville Pond. The request is to determine whether the activity depicted in the plans is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act and its regulations. The hearing will be held on May 19, 2025 at 6:30 PM at Templeton Town Hall. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should appear at the time and place indicated above. The request for determination of applicability is available for public review at the Development Services Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. The RDA is also available upon request from J. Case at templetonma.gov. George Andrews, Chair, Templeton Conservation Commission. Can I please get a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, on a motion to open this public hearing, how do you vote, Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Christoph? We are open.
Amanda's on, I believe.
You too. I vote yes.
Amanda, thank you.
Didn't see you sneak in.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. So I got a phone call from the applicant who planned to come today that he had personal matters to attend to and he couldn't, but I can answer any questions that you have. We did perform a site walk. George and Dave were present and can answer any questions. We did discuss potentially requesting silt fences installing at the limit of work. But if you look at the picture that I provided, there's a natural drop off that's already there. Like there's already a natural retaining wall. And so he really isn't planning on going beyond that. He's gonna, what was he gonna use, Dave? He was gonna use 2x2s to,
Timber,
yeah,
landscaping timber.
yeah, Christoph might know more about that, but he's gonna put it down to contain.
And he did
The
have the silt
material.
fence up there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the site, but it seems like
It's minimal.
Like it's a good site and it's not gonna be affecting the wetland.
No, it's a small area too.
He's not going beyond the house.
No,
He's only going.
yeah, he's
just
not
to the
going down
rear
to
of
the
the
beach.
house. 'Cause
Correct,
You
Right.
got a set of stairs
right,
on the right side.
Right.
And the left side.
right.
What is the existing substrate where he wants to put the gravel?
On the driveway side to the right is kind of like, hard pack already. On the left side, it's more of a dirt. And, it's a heavy dirt.
So he has in his application that the driveway is 18 by 38 and the extra soil and grass is 12 by 38. And actually, he informed us on site that he's not bringing anything in, he's just using the material that's already out there. And leveling it out, because there's some dips in some spots and there's some high areas in some spots, so he's really not bringing anything in. If that helps. Yeah. So I would only recommend as your agent, you know, if the erosion controls at the limit of work and a pre-construction visit, I don't think that anything else is too out of the ordinary or impactful.
No, because he's gonna leave a place for all that to go into, and it's not gonna go beyond the stone wall. The way he showed us everything is already done, so.
I'll make a motion for a negative determination on the RDA with the conditions, that there's a pre-site visit and that there are erosion controls in the appropriate place.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Joanne. Any discussion? Hearing none on a motion to provide a negative RDA with conditions as stated. How do you vote?
I have
Oh.
one discussion.
So-
Is that another, sorry, no, is that another visit than what they already did, Amanda?
It would,
Yeah, once they move the erosion controls, we would just go out to give them a thumbs up.
that's it. No, I apologize. I didn't see your hand first off, my bad. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none on the motion to provide a negative determination with conditions as stated. How do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Krista?
Yes.
There we go. Now I'm gonna pass this down to y'all. And Joanne, you can hand me back that picture.
Okay.
Very much. Mr. Andrews, you want to read number 3?
Yes, number 3, RDA 325 Baldwinville Road for the replacement of a pre-existing bridge over an intermittent stream in the same footprint as when the bridge was created as an accessory in the main dwelling in 1948. The request to determination whether the activity depicted in the plans is subject to the Wetlands Protection Act and its regulations.
So the applicant has withdrawn the application and will be submitting an NOI. I would be looking for a motion to accept the withdrawal without prejudice.
So moved.
Any second?
Seconded.
Seconded by Amanda. Any discussion? Look up now. No. Hearing none.
Just so you know, I haven't heard from him. I was under the understanding that he would like some assistance. And I haven't heard anything.
I believe he's hired assistants.
Oh, good.
This young fellow over here.
Hi, he hired me. The poor guy.
No, it's fine.
I mean, no. I'm actually working on the NOI as we speak. I've already got the butters list. you should get something from me pretty soon.
Very good.
Thank you.
So we have a motion to accept the withdrawal without prejudice. It's been seconded. No further discussion. How do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Christoph?
Aye.
Mr. Andrews, please.
Okay,
feel free.
we are doing
Number
number 4. Notice intent filed and is pending. Continued Patriots Road 207 2.8 for the construction of a driveway crossing a wetland and the installation of a septic system within the buffer zone of a wetland.
Can I get a motion to reopen the public hearing?
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
I'm gonna give it to Dave.
Mr. Machete, am I correct?
Any discussion? Hearing none on the motion to reopen the public hearing. How do you vote? Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Christoph?
Yes.
Very good. We're reopen. I did get a call from Kirk Machete, who's representing the application, that he did plan to come here and provide us with updated plans, but he's not here. I did inform him that we still need a site walk and a file number, and that those new plans needed to go to the state to get the file number. The only update I have for you. So seeing that he's not here to present, I would accept a motion to continue.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion made by Christoph, seconded by George. Any discussion? Hearing none. How do you vote on a motion to continue this public hearing to the next one? Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Christoph?
Aye.
Very good.
Okay, we will go. You ready for number
Ready for
5?
number 5.
Notice of intent 304-0397 continues 66 Rainbow Drive at the Templeton Fishing Game Club for the construction of a 20 by 20-foot deck within the 50-foot buffer zone of the wetland known as Partridgeville Pond.
Can I get a motion to reopen this? public
I
hearing?
will make it so make.
George,
We
need a
open.
motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. How do you vote on, sorry, any discussion? Hearing none on a motion to reopen the public hearing. How do you vote? Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes,
Christoph?
Yes.
We are
as you can
reopening
see, I
at
already got this
6:46.
in here, so we're all set there with the buffer.
I did see the applicant Charles Carroll in the office today. He did provide me with the complete abutters list, so his application is complete and available for you to make a determination on. Furthermore, last minute, he did hand in what Amanda requested at the last meeting, which was him to draw in the erosion controls. Christoph and Joanne, if you look on that second page, he drew them in, and also the photo shows where they're installed. So Amanda, we can advocate for you that the erosion controls are drawn on the plans and the photos support that. Charles is not present,
What do we, what does he want? Permission?
so
to-
he's asking for an order of conditions. He's asking for approval of the NOI to finish the deck.
And he did what we asked him to do?
Yep.
Okay,
Well, I'll make a motion that we issue an order of conditions.
I'll second it.
We have a motion made by Joanne, seconded by Christoph to issue an order of conditions. Any discussion? Pretty good. All right, no
Mem-
discussion. So the motion is to issue the order of conditions. How do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes,
Christoph?
Yes.
Very good. I will pass down the OOC for you to sign right here. There you go. And then Joanne, you can get those back to me for the files. Thank you very much. you very much. Mr. Andrews, would you like to read number 6?
We'll do number 6. Notice of intent, 304. Oh, wait a minute, no. Yeah. 304-0398 70 South Main Street for the construction of a 30 by 30 detached garage within the 100-foot buffer zone of a wetland.
Hold on a second. Those are 2 NOIs and 2 plans. You can. I will read the legal notice. Templeton Conservation Commission, 70 South Main Street, notice of intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a notice of intent filed by Matthew Morrow of Matthew S. Morrow Environmental Consulting on behalf of Eric Hisman and Carol McAdams of Templeton. Project location is 70 South Main Street, Templeton, map 1-2, parcel 1-53. Description of project is the construction of a 30 by 30 foot detached garage within the 100-foot buffer zone of a wetland. No work is proposed within the limit of a bordering vegetated wetland. The hearing will be held on May 19th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at Templeton Town Hall. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should appear at the time and place indicated above. The notice of intent is available for public review at the Development Services Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. The NOI is also available upon request from J. Case at templetonma.gov. George Andrews Chair, Templeton Conservation Commission. Can I please get a motion to open this public hearing?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dave. Any discussion? Hearing none on a motion to open this public hearing, how do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Krista?
Aye.
We are not only open, we have Matt Morrow representing the project. He is the engineer and is here to answer any of your questions about the project. Take it away, Matt.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Good evening, folks. Matt Morrow representing Eric Hisman and Carol McAdams. So I'm hoping this is a straightforward project. What we have is a wet meadow that I had previously delineated at the tail end of last year. There was no snow on the ground when I did this delineation. It was in December. Vegetation is basically pretty clear cut on the site. Soils told a lot of a story on that site as well. All of that data, I believe, was included in the notice of intent. So what we're looking to do is my client is looking to remove the existing garage on site and replace it with a 30 by 30 foot structure with a 4-foot frost wall. This does come within 7 feet of the wetland. The wetland will be protected by erosion protection. This is wattles and silt fence trenched in that is proposed. I know that you guys usually require a pre-construction consult. So I will facilitate that consult and make sure that the silt fence is trenched in and that the wattles are on top of it. So pretty straightforward stuff. I think we do have a DEP number, and I think their only comment was to just make sure the grading didn't go too close to the wetland. There really is no grading proposed. So it's basically being built up above existing grades. So he's not proposing any grade changes. Everything's going to remain other than just the structure.
Will they be digging for like a footing and?
Yes, they're going to have to dig for a footing and then the 4-foot frost wall.
Yeah. Okay.
So I did get, when I send out abutter notices, I always put on the abutter notices that if you want a PDF copy, just email my office. I did get one request. If memory serves me correctly, it was the lot behind Zan and Powell. Of course, I used the generic abutter notice and it says, fill. So they were afraid that they were going to actually fill. So sent them the NOI, told them what the project was about. If they had any questions, they could email back, come to the hearing. I didn't get a response other than, oh, okay, thanks. So
I walked this site and what you're representing there, kind of like what you showed us on site. I'm fine with it. I don't know how to make the right motion, but I don't know what everyone else thinks.
I just wanted to add one thing. I would like recommend a condition being to remove the debris from the wetlands prior
Right.
to the pre-construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, we agree with
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in that
That's over.
7 feet to the corner of
Yeah.
the new building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost over
Yeah.
here.
Oh, up here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I did speak to my client about that. He said, yeah, fine. Was this his response? So I don't
Yeah.
think there'll be an issue.
Awesome.
Eric will do that, I know him well.
Yeah, seems like a really, really good, really nice man.
So I make a motion that we accept this plan with the order, with the condition that he remove the junk from the woods, from the wetlands.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion to issue an order of condition with the conditions stated. Motion made by Christoph, seconded by George. Any discussion? Amanda, you good?
I'm good.
Hearing no discussion, how do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes,
Christoph?
Yeah.
You are good. I will work on that and reach out to you to pick up the order of conditions.
That's fine. Whenever it's ready. Yeah, I'll come pick it up and get it recorded myself.
Perfect.
That's all set.
You will be my point of contact.
Thank you.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
You're very welcome.
thank you, man.
Nice to
Thanks,
see
Matt.
you.
Nice to see you guys, and
Yeah.
I'll actually be back.
I already know that.
First time I got to use the board in like 4 years.
Yeah, right. Thank you and thank you.
See you guys later.
Thank you.
Take
care,
Careful
Matt.
your bag, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome.
Over the other day.
Can I get that order of conditions?
sure.
Thanks.
Oops.
Thank you, team. Mr. Andrews, could you please read number 7?
My turn to read.
Yep.
Notice of intent file number pending. On River Dam Rehabilitation Project 51 Main Street for the rehabilitation of the dam embankment and repair of the primary and auxiliary spillways within the resource area at Siemens Paper.
I will read the legal notice. Otter River Dam Rehabilitation Project Notice of Intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a notice of intent filed by Teagan Bond on behalf of Seaman Paper Company of Templeton. Project location is 51 Main Street, Templeton. Map 1-3.1, parcel 46. Description of project is the rehabilitation of the dam embankment and repair of the primary and auxiliary spillways. The project is set to impact inland resource areas. The hearing will be held on May 19th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at Templeton Town Hall. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should appear at the time and place indicated above. The notice of intent is available for public review at the Development Services Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. The notice of intent is also available upon request from J. Case at templetonma.gov, George Andrews Chair, Templeton Conservation Commission. Can I please get a motion to open this public hearing?
Make a motion to, oh, Amanda's going to, okay.
I'm going to take Joanne and I'll take the George.
Whichever.
All right, so a motion made by Joanne to open and seconded by George. Any discussion? Seeing none, how do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yeah,
Christoph?
Okay.
We are open at 6:54. And with us this evening via Zoom, we have the project manager, Stephanie from Teagan Bond. We also have a representative from Seaman Paper Co. in the audience if we have any questions. Robbie as
Robbie.
well. Very good. Stephanie, you want to take it away?
Sure, thank you. You can hear me okay?
Welcome. Yep.
yeah,
Okay, and I'm gonna share my screen here, sending a request to share my screen. Let me know if you can see that.
You should be able to share your screen now.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay. Let me just slide these things around here. Okay, so are you seeing this sort of cover slide here with the photo of the dam? Okay. So again, thank you. My name is Stephanie Tetrall. I'm with Ty and Bond. I am here on behalf of Seaman Paper Company to present this Otter River Dam rehabilitation project. So I have a couple slides prepared and I have the NOI and the plans available too. If there's something specific you guys want to go over, definitely prepared to talk about that, but I'll give a quick rundown here. So the site overview, we're looking down at Main Street, running through the center here, north to south, and we have State Road Route 68 up here on the north, and the Otter River Dam is just located right here where my crosshairs are. Seaman Paper Company is this industrial looking building on the southwest side. And again, the project is to rehabilitate the existing dam in its location. So the Otter River's flowing generally from page right to left, from east to west, and it is impounded by the dam in this location. This is a closer view of the aerial image and just a quick summary of the proposed work. So the dam itself is rather overgrown with vegetation. Some of us were there last week to see it on site, but the first step in the process is going to be vegetation removal within 20 feet of the dam and the dam embankments, and that is per the Massachusetts DCR dam safety standards. And that includes above ground vegetation as well as the root masses. After that, the project proposes to rehabilitate and provide overtopping protection for the embankments on the left and right side as you're facing downstream. So the left embankment is on the south side and the right embankment would be the north side as I refer to them. And that will involve preparing the surface. As you saw on site, there's some degraded sandbags and some, it's a little bit like slumping in some locations. So the surface will be prepared and then it will be overtopped with class 1 and class 2 riprap. What you can't really tell, partly because there's so much overgrown vegetation, is that there are existing stone walls on both the up and downstream sides of this left embankment here. And in the couple photos, you can actually see the stone wall that is on the inside of this bend, but there's another one here that we were actually standing on as we walked out onto this embankment last week. There's an additional stone wall over here on the north side on the right embankment, which the intent of the project is to really reinforce those walls by providing this overtopping protection. And the third aspect of the project involves repairing the primary and the auxiliary spillways. So the primary spillway is the large main spillway located here where my crosshairs are. And then the auxiliary spillway is down here on the south side of the left embankment. And for the auxiliary spillway, repairs are relatively minor, just concrete spalling and patching, no excavation or earth moving or anything associated with those repairs. But at the primary spillway, we are proposing to excavate a little bit of material on the upstream side. There will be cofferdams in place so that the work area will be completed, the work will be completed in the dry. And then you can sort of see in this image, these are concrete piers that hold up wooden flashboards. And at the end of the project, the way this project is designed is to remove those concrete piers and the wooden flashboards and replace that section with concrete. So the normal crest elevation of the existing and the proposed dam will remain the same. So I have a couple overviews of the plan sheets here. I apologize if this is a little bit blurry. I have the PDF versions on a different slide, but essentially right here, we're looking at the primary spillway. This is the left embankment, the south embankment, and the auxiliary spillway is right here. Main Street's running this way. So the portions of the work that will occur on the left side of the dam, on the south side, are going to be accessed from Main Street. And there's a large parking area here for construction access and laydown, stockpiling and material staging. And then that will only get up to the primary spillway. In order to access from the right embankment on the north side, access is proposed from Route 68 via this existing gravel roadway that extends down to here. Whoops. So a portion of this road will just be, there's a lot of like overhanging vegetation kind of encroaching into the width of the road, but we're going to need to get equipment down there. So preparing this road will just be grading the surface as it is, not adding or excavating any material, and trimming the vegetation so that equipment can get down that way. And then this portion here, the differentiation in the two different shades here, is where this is really less of a, it's an existing access way, but it's less substantial than the one that's on the northern extent. So in this location, what we've designed here is to scrape off a little bit of the surface, add some packed gravel, and then that will maintain the elevation that's existing today so that there's no fill in the floodplain. That was the goal of that aspect. And then that will provide access from the north to the north side of the dam in this embankment here. So vegetation will be removed again from within 20 feet of this whole embankment, and within 20 feet, which is essentially this entire southern embankment. And then this symbology that you see here is the riprap overtopping protection. And there will be, again, the concrete repairs to the primary and auxiliary spillways. So I put this slide in. Somebody at the site walk was asking about the dimensions of the riprap, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and you can see in most cases, these are cross sections of the proposed embankment overtopping protection. And on the upstream side, it's mainly specified as type 2 riprap, and on the downstream side, it's type 1 riprap. And that's true throughout each section, so the entire length on both embankments. And the actual size of that riprap, type 1 riprap, has a D50, so a median size of 24 inches, 2 feet in diameter. So most of the material will be at least 2 feet in diameter. This is large rock. And type 2 is slightly smaller, 16 inches in diameter. So the larger rock is on the downstream side, where you would expect there's going to be, in the event that these embankments overtop, there's going to be a lot of turbulence, and the hydraulic analysis supported the need for this size riprap to withstand that amount of energy. I'll zoom back out here. I don't want to make anybody dizzy. Okay, and then I just have a series of photos here. I don't know if anybody has any questions at this point, if I can hone in on anything more specifically.
I would say good, keep going.
Okay, so just a couple photos here. From this vantage, we're standing on the left embankment, on that south embankment, looking towards Main Street. This is Seaman Paper Company's building in the background in that large parking area. And this is the auxiliary spillway. So water's flowing from the left to the right. And again, just minor concrete repairs on this auxiliary spillway. Now, from the same location, looking in the opposite direction, looking north along this southerly left embankment, and this is the primary spillway in the background. Route 68 would be kind of behind the tree line over here. But again, this, you can also see some of those sandbags that we saw last week. This surface is going to be prepared. These trees will be removed, and this brush will be removed. And then the riprap overtopping protection will be installed along this up and downstream face of the whole embankment here. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that in the process of installing the riprap, particularly on this location, if we look kind of on the bottom left side, there's a big change in elevation here. The picture doesn't really do it justice, but we're a good 10 or more feet above this low shelf next to the river. And this is a bordering vegetated wetland down here. And so as a result of the overtopping protection, some of this bordering vegetated wetland will be permanently impacted by the riprap. And so we've also included a inland wetland replacement plan to restore that square footage. It's 21 square feet, and we're going to reconstruct that 21 square feet just in another portion of this shelf. There's a upland area that was kind of, the whole shelf is not wetland. So using a portion of the upland part of the shelf, we're able to match that 21 square feet, and it will work out well. It's at the same elevation. It's going to be subject to the same types of like hydrology, and we'll use a similar plant community as well. This photo is down on that shelf. So this is just about that area, that 21 square feet or so that will be permanently impacted, but then restored just over here on the right-hand side. This photo is taken from the northern access drive. So I'm standing right about at that difference between the two different shades of gray there, where we were going to be just sort of trimming vegetation as necessary to access to get large equipment to access down this portion of the accessway. And I'm facing north. This is Route 68 in the background. The bordering vegetated wetland that is adjacent to the Otter River impoundment really kind of extends in like a finger, like it projects and kind of undulates back and forth to and from away from the impoundment. And so this is a portion that comes up to the roadway here. But important to note that we are not impacting this wetland or any of the wetlands here. It's all just in the buffer. But we'll have erosion controls along this perimeter on both sides. There's wetlands on the opposite side as well. And then from here, sort of the same location, I'm just looking over the shoulder facing down that access road. This is one of the abutters residents over here. And kind of where my crosshairs are here is that transition between where this is a more established gravel access way, and then we get to the less established portion, which is right about here. And I'm facing now down that portion of the road. So in this location, that's where we're going to be sort of scraping the surface, adding a little bit of gravel just to have a stable surface for the equipment to get through, clearing the vegetation in the same width in order to get the equipment through here, but not filling in the floodplain.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, that's my last photo anyway.
Oh, timing. When you were on Main Street, you were talking about using the parking lot for staging and stockpiling. Is that the same for these pictures? Do you have an area on that side, or are you just going to drive everything around? What's the plan?
My understanding is that they would just drive everything around, that most of this will be the main staging area. So once they can get equipment to the other side, I think there will be ways where they can sort of tag team it from both sides. But as far as getting the actual machinery on the opposite side, that's why access is needed from that direction.
Thank you.
So this says notice intent file number pending. So does that mean all we can do is continue this?
Yes, we are still waiting on a file number from Mass DEP.
That was a great, clear and thorough presentation, Stephanie. I managed to peruse through much of your document you sent earlier this month. Would you mind including somewhere just pinpointing where that bordering vegetated wetland replication will happen? Just in some sort of document. Unless you have it already, and that's awesome, and I missed it. So.
It's on here. So
It is. Okay. Perfect.
this is the existing conditions view. So it's kind of, it's easy, a little bit cleaner to see, like this is the wetland that we're talking about. And then if I skip ahead here, you can see this little wedge is what's being impacted.
Yep.
And so this little wedge here, it's only 21 square feet.
Right,
That
right.
is the area to be replaced.
Wonderful. Thank you. That's
Sure.
great.
Also, too, the work will be done when the river is at its lowest, correct?
Yes. So right now the schedule is largely, mostly well, entirely dependent on receiving the permits. So this is our first stop. And then we are in the process of the 401 and the 404 federal permits and water quality certification. And we expect to receive those in the fall, but that is going to be a challenge for constructability due to normal high flows. If the conditions are suitable, then they will try to, within the extent of the conditions, of course, they will try to get the work done as soon as possible. But that will require work in the dry, and that's only doable when the rivers is at a lower flow stage. I didn't really talk much about water management, but I mentioned that there'll be a cofferdam along to enclose the primary spillway on the up and downstream sides. During that portion of the work, water will be flowing through the auxiliary spillway. And then when that's done, the cofferdams will switch such that the auxiliary spillway will be blocked off and the flow will be diverted through the primary spillway. So those cofferdams are only going to be functional at up to a certain flow event. So the contractor will have to be aware of the weather forecast and have contingency plans to manage that in the event of a rain event or something.
Very good.
Any other discussion?
Interesting project.
Yeah, yeah,
I had a question.
okay.
This project, it is straightforward, but my other question, things that we saw up there in the pond, that piece of pipe,
Oh,
In the river, the mysterious pipe in the
Yeah.
river.
does anybody know what that is?
Not yet.
Dave's question is about when we were on a site walk, there was a mysterious floating pipe in the.
In the river.
Picture of it, Stephanie, maybe you could pull up, I don't know.
I thought it was interesting. You can see it in this aerial image.
My contribution to your question is I contacted the sewer department and they confirmed it's not a sewer pipe.
And I got historical looking into it,
Rangers is historical.
because they didn't, they had no idea it was there. So they're gonna be looking.
The only
into
thing
it.
I could think of possibly is that at one point, this pipe was stretched across the river to stop any floating large debris from going into the spillway areas, dam area. Because it would, anything floating, logs and whatnot, a pipe like that would stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only thing I could come up with.
And the Historical Society said there used to be a building in the parking lot. That may had something to do with what's out there too, so. Until they can look into it.
It's a
Yeah.
pipe that has its own island,
Yeah.
and they say it raises and lowers. If it raise and lower, you at some point you'd be losing the elasticity of the pipe. And if it's a water line,
Well, it's not a sewer line.
Yeah, it's
That's
not a
for
sewer
sure.
line.
okay, well, that's good.
That
That's
was
good,
that was the
yeah.
that was the main thing we wanted to make sure it was not a sewer line going from Friday Avenue out over. That
It
was
could
the-
even be a line that had old time telephone lines running
it
through.
Could be, yeah. That's why I asked the Circle Society if they would look into it and get back to me. So as soon as they get looking into it, I'll know.
If we find out any information from our end, we'll pass it along to you and Robbie, Stephanie.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we'll all communicate. But that overall doesn't affect the project, it's just.
No, no.
I'll make a motion, we continue this, that's all we can do.
Yep.
For the next meeting.
Second,
We have a motion to continue this topic to the next conservation meeting. Because we need a file number. Any further discussion or questions? Amanda? You good? Okay, on a motion to vote, on a motion to continue the public hearing to next meeting, how do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Krista?
Yes.
Very good. Amanda, thank you Stephanie, thank you very much for the presentation. It was great. You and I will look out for Mass DEP's comments and go from there.
Okay, thank you. And thank you again for accommodating the Zoom. I appreciate that. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie.
There we go there.
See you later. If you see Bill Harris, ask him about the pipe. I bet he knows.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, from there, we ready to go to number 8? Yeah,
I'm ready to go to number 8.
we are ready to go to number 8. Number 8, enforcement order status for 280 State Road, OOC 3040378. She has joined us, so.
Okay, so, Katie, do you want to come up? Katie, could you come up? Do I want to? Yes.
Oh, we don't want you
Um,
yelling.
So I just wanna kind of lay the groundwork that we want to make sure that we're talking about the two topics separately. So the one that Mr. Andrews just read, we're just specifically talking about the enforcement order, not the whole site.
Right.
So with that said, the enforcement order specifically stated, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, let's move on from the past, but it said to the resolution requires the applicant to remove any pavement that was not placed in the designated area per the plans. That essentially, that's what we wrote amongst other things. So some of us went on a site visit. For those of you that haven't, Katie and I have provided photos that show the pavement has been removed. Correct.
It actually looks like they did one better and they removed more than they had to. So that's great.
Yes, by removing the existing driveway. Yes.
Yes. So that's really what we want to speak about solely, and then we can talk about the next request. But right now is, do we feel that they have satisfied our enforcement order?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So if
Does
they-
George need a motion in that?
Amanda,
regard?
do you have any questions, comments? You're good?
It looks really.
Nope,
good.
I'm good.
So if that's the case, then if you want to go that route, you would make a motion to lift the enforcement order.
So moved.
Second.
Right, we have a motion to lift the enforcement order for 280 State Road, order of conditions 3040378, made by Joanne and seconded by Christoph. Any discussion? Hearing none, how do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes,
Christoph?
yes.
Jumped in. All right, so
I thought it was.
that has been lifted.
Okay,
Awesome. Mr. Andrews?
no, the next
Could you please kindly read number 9?
9.
Yes.
Okay, COC request for 280 State Road, OOC 304-0378.
Okay. So again, oh, sorry, I didn't even introduce. We have Katie LaGrave here of 280 State Road to represent the request. And what I just handed the commission was the as-built that you provided me. And what I put behind that was the plans.
Okay.
So that we can kind of talk about where the overlap is.
Yep.
So team that's in public, the things that I've highlighted in orange, that's your accepted plans. And the last page, which is green, that's the as-built. And then the pictures also align with the as-built.
Right.
So, Katie, do you want to start off with anything? No, you're good. Okay, so then you're
Sorry.
straight. You're fine. So I'll just
Learning as I go, and this I have not learned yet. So I'm going with the
so
flow.
I'll
guys.
I'll take the lead and I'll just
Thank
pick
you.
apart the plan so the public knows what's happening.
Yes.
So let's point out a few things. You can look at the original plans and you can look at the as-built and our pictures on site. It appears that the detention basin was built in the back,
Correct.
right? So we saw that.
Yep.
Christoph, were you there?
This is
Chris? Yes.
Certificate of completion request.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that required the site visit and the as-built.
Yeah.
And so we're now comparing the plan of what
Yeah.
exists to what we accepted. So I'm just gonna point out some highlights that, the detention basin is in a location very close to, what it is on the plans. You do have 6 trees in the front,
Correct.
very, very close to where they were in the plans. The proposed paved parking area looks on point. The drip line trench is around the 3 sides as proposed.
Correct.
You do have a designated proposed snow storage location
Correct.
over the rocks. What size rocks did you use?
I believe it was the 3/4.
3/4 inch rocks.
Yeah.
You mulched around the trees.
Correct. Which we
As
gave you
required by the
pictures.
planting detail.
That was not there the day of the site visit.
Yep, so that's,
Ron
yeah.
actually took care of it later that day. So the mulch and the grass that was planted. And I do remember that when we were there, you guys asked what was gonna happen to, basically behind the building was a lot of mud, and he did grass over there as well. Kind of some
So
of
next to
Dennis's.
the neighbor.
Yep, some of kind of Dennis's property as well as our property, but he grassed that as well.
Very good.
See what comes up, but there's seed
So-
there.
So on the as-built in front of the trees to State Road, that's all the grassed area. So the only thing that doesn't match is the garage door on the building was moved, and thus the existing driveway that came off of State Road, Katie and Ron also removed because it never aligned.
Correct.
And so that is a allowable activity under the Wetlands Protection Act because they're creating more pervious surface area. They removed more pavement than what we accepted. So that's great.
Yep.
I tried to pull out some highlights. Anything else I missed? Detention basin, proposed storage,
I think
trees?
the only other thing that I don't
Goodness.
know if anybody's gonna notice it, but you had mentioned was that pad that came out of the other side that is not on. I don't actually even know if it's on the as-built. I've been
is.
crazed today.
Yep.
I haven't had a chance to look at it, but that was okayed by the building inspector.
So it says on the as-built, it says as-built concrete landing. It's what goes out the back door to the detention basin, and it's required per code.
That's required
Yeah.
by code.
Yeah.
So I make a motion that we grant the certificate of completion for 280 State Road.
Second. Issue. All right, so we have a motion made by Christoph to issue the COC for 280 State Road Car Works, seconded by Joanne. Any discussion? The only discussion I have is what we discussed, which was the last page of your order of conditions, which is what continues forward in perpetuity. Essentially, if you ever need anything on this property landscaping wise, remember that you need a conservation permit. That's it. Any further discussion, Amanda? You need anything? We're good? Nope. Okay. So on a motion to issue the COC for Car Works, how do you vote, Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Christoph?
So like balloons and confetti, cake, anything. I mean.
You didn't bring it with you?
I will accept
Ah.
cake. You did a good job, Katie.
You did a great
Thank
job
you.
cleaning up, and it was a long road getting there, but we did it. So
You can
Yeah.
pull up the silt fence and straw wattles now.
Fantastic.
and discard them.
And when the pears come, we can go get some. I think.
I wish that they were pear trees, but they're not.
Oh, I thought,
Yeah, we were trying. They were just way more expensive than we
oh,
already spent way more money than we
Yeah.
planned on it. So wonderful. So my next steps will be to come and grab the paperwork from you at some point in the
Yeah, I'll
next couple
send-
of days. To then go do.
Yeah, give me a hot minute to get all.
Yeah, please.
all
I'm
the
I'm gonna
paperwork
need
I
it
gotta-
myself, so
Yeah.
it's not a problem.
And then I'll send you an email and then you'll come in and get that paperwork. Again, you'll have to file it with the Worcester Registry of
Yep.
Deeds. And what that does is it lifts your order of conditions, which is that encumbrance.
Fantastic. And then because I know that Mr. Hanks was waiting on this in order to help
Yeah.
with that. So then will you let him know that we're good? So
Yes, I
then
will.
he'll be in touch with us about
Yep.
the occupancy. Yes. Fantastic. Awesome. I really appreciate it. Learned an awful lot in this matter. And again, I
You're very
appreciate it,
welcome.
guys.
Good job, Katie.
We would love to have you on the commission in the future too. Since now you know all of the things.
Anything like that. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you,
Thank
Katie.
you.
I'll reach out to you this week.
Yes, sounds good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now. Agent updates.
Oh, is that me?
That's you. Yes, ma'am.
All right, my update is that, file number 3040389, which was the proposed sewer pipe project, did receive a superseding order of conditions by Mass DEP on April 17th, 2025. However, Article 7 at Templeton's annual town meeting on May 15th, 2025, for assessing a surplus easement on town property failed. So I, as your agent, am not sure what the developer's next steps are. But I will keep you posted as things progress. I sent you all an email today. You got a final forest cutting plan for Shady Lane. So they're done down there. And some violations. The follow-up letter was issued to 58 Main Street. I sent you all that. And the Board of Health agent is still working with the landowner regarding the violations and corrections. And you guys read the letter. It's essentially saying that she's going to correct anything that we would have, and we support them in their actions going forward. There was a violation letter sent to 27 Myrtle Street. You guys got that. Mr. Andrews and I performed a site visit and found no violations. Wonderfully, gladly, thankfully. So I issued a follow-up letter to close it out, and I sent you all that.
And what he had to move a little bit away from the,
There was a little bit of
but-
debris, but it was no.
with no
violation.
big deal.
Yep.
And we did take care of that.
Lastly, a violation letter was sent out to 71 Otter River Road last week. I sent you all that, and I heard from the homeowner today, who was very receptive to an education, and he is going to restabilize the site and give me a call. And when I get that call, I will let you all know so we can go out and see.
You mean that tractor that was over there? I know, I saw it the other day.
So, I would like to not issue any more violation letters this week or next week or going forward. So if everybody in town would just, chill. But, everybody's been receptive, which is wonderful, and
And
essentially,
cooperative.
yeah, everybody's cooperative and open to an education, and I think that's what's important.
It is.
That is my agent updates, Mr. Chair.
Okay, now,
Would like to move on to chair and member comments.
yes, the chair has a comment,
Mhm.
now, or a question or something, or whatever we want to call it. South Road. You know that house that they're building up there?
Oh, yeah, the one we issued an order of conditions
All
to?
right, yeah,
Yes,
now, beyond that, 5 houses up,
okay.
okay? The guy has filled in the embankment beside him. He's got all kinds of junk up there, and it can be seen from the road. I don't know if you want to go look at it.
So what you're telling me is I'm going to write another violation.
Well, yeah, now they've cut trees down and put it out there,
Okay.
and behind it, you can see there are wetlands
Okay.
behind it from the road.
Okay.
So it's just if we could go up and look at it
I'll check it
at
out.
your convenience.
I will check it out, and then I will report back to you.
And, but it's, they put up 2 big tented areas, they got wood on it,
Okay.
and they've been filling further and further away.
Right.
And that's something to you.
Okay.
Further from Wallen's towards me or backwards towards Silver Hill?
Oh, you know where they.
Before you.
Before your road on the
Before
right.
your road. On the left-hand side, there's 5 houses, the 5th house, he's got those big tents up there, and he's got wood, and he's got all kinds of junk packed in them, plus you can see he come at least this high off the road. With the embankment, that was I remember when they did all those houses up there, that was left flat out there, and he's been filling it in over the last few years. And it's just because of his wetlands behind it, and of course, none of you were on the board when they were doing those houses, so. But me and Dave were.
I will
Well,
check it out and, if I
and-
can,
and, You know, and it's just a question,
Yep.
if you think it should be taken
Okay.
care of.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, Christoph, if you drive that way too, check it out too and let me know if you think as well.
I know that one thing that we've been seeing, not just a lot of on South Road, but all over town is the taking down ash trees, because this ash blight, have you heard about that?
No?
no,
Or the ash tree species in Massachusetts has this worm that's getting under the cambium on mature ash trees like this. If you look carefully along all the streets, they're turning orange on the bark
oh, I haven't seen those yet.
and they're standing dead. It's just in the last 15 months or so. So I showed the kids, I cut one down in the woods. And you take the piece of the bark and on the underside, it's all just little tunnels of this ash borer that's specific to ash trees.
Yeah.
And so the light department, I talked to Tom about it and I said, what are you guys gonna do? Cause there's a lot of the huge trees along the roads in Templeton are ash.
Ash, yes,
They took some down on Otter River Road. I took some on our property down myself because before they started going through the power lines, and I know somewhere along there, across the street from Dean Burners, they were taking some ash down. So I know that's one activity that's been happening along
Wow.
roadways.
yeah, because years ago, they took out a bunch of wood in Worcester that had the,
It's similar to that, but the Asian longhorn beetle was multiple species,
Yeah,
and that
right.
was over a certain quarantined area. This is like over the whole of the state and into New England.
yeah, I hadn't heard.
It's like
that.
more like the chestnut blight, like the ash
Mm-hmm.
trees are gonna,
The emerald ash borer,
okay,
EAB, it's a huge concern.
yeah.
The red pine in the area has been getting hit really hard too. I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if it was an insect or if it was, some kind of fungus. I can't remember, but.
Joanne, there's a pine adelgid that is
Maybe
coming
that-
into the area. That's what it is?
I-
Okay, then I need to alert the state about that,
Well, they
because
already know, because they've been cutting down most of the red pine to try to stop it. Out in the order of the state forest.
Well, that's
If you
like,
go along 202 near the Lake Dennison area there,
everything's
see-
open, yeah.
yeah, they cut so many of the trees down trying to stop it. But the red pines really taking a hit.
Well, that's all I have. Anybody got anything else they wanna mention?
This just got depressing.
This has just got depressing.
I know.
that's the thing.
well, if you see any other invasive forest pests in the town, the public should get in contact with Jess in the office.
She likes to write letters, you say?
Very good.
No, I have another one that I need to talk to Laurie about, but
Oh.
there's nobody here.
You guys heard that we're out of a drought?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that was, we
It
got
was
that.
May something. We're out of a drought now.
Yeah.
Yay.
We're heading into the flooding season,
Don't say. No, no, no.
Okay,
all right?
All right, our next meeting is Monday, June 16th
Yeah.
at 6:30 PM.
Make a motion to adjourn.
all those
Second.
in favor?
All right.
I'm gonna get you before you do.
How do you vote to adjourn the meeting? Amanda?
Yes.
Joanne?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
George?
Yeah.
Christoph?
Yep.
We are adjourned at